Stylebox, this is a presentation in response to your request for proposal. We are a consulting group called GM Solutions. Solutions for Stylebox is presented by Ayush Patel, Amber Morgan, Andrea C. Sanchez Barrera, David Song, and Jacob Wilson. I'll start with the introduction. GM Solutions is based in Fairfax, Virginia. We have consulted for companies such as Uniqlo, Under Armour, and Nike. Stylebox, we know that you are expanding your stylist staff by 1,000 throughout your US locations, an additional 700 in 3 new locations in Germany. Furthermore, you are looking for a new selection system to help you effectively scale. You are hiring for new stylists in these areas. Moreover, you are requesting something tailored rather than something off the shelf and are interested in at least one portion of the selection system being administered online. Here at GM Solutions, we acknowledge all of your criteria. I want to assure you that if we are chosen to lead this project, we will do it methodically, utilize evidence-based research, and ensure timely completion. We will go over our multi-phase approach that again will be customized to be a tailored solution to your request. Stylebox, now this is what we can do for you.
What we are proposing is a customized, research-driven selection system crafted specifically to meet the demands of your upcoming expansion across the globe. This is a very exciting moment for the growth of your company, and with that exciting growth comes a challenge of finding the right people to represent your brand. At Stylebox, you've made it clear that you're looking for something scalable, efficient, and friendly, but most importantly, not generic. You want to find unique, qualified individuals to represent your brand. That is where we come in and set ourselves apart. Our goal is to help you achieve adaptability and consistency. Think of us like your own personal stylist, but for your hiring process/selection system. Just as a stylist considers your personality and goals before putting together the perfect look, we do the same, but in a more operational manner. Like my colleague David said, at GM Solutions, we don't just pull something off of the shelf. We create tailored systems and programs for all of our clients to fit their exact wants and needs. The elements of our solution come from data we obtain solely from your employees, your customers, and your organization's operations. We have designed something scalable and applicable to all aspects of your expansion with built-in flexibility to account for cultural differences to ensure fairness, and we have combined this with scientific rigor. Our approach consists of evidence-based research methods that will predict on-the-job success that goes beyond hiring. We also provide a long-term performance management system so that hires made are continually being tested, trained, confirmed, and developed. This helps Stylebox get all that they can out of each hire while making the process as smooth and efficient as possible. Ultimately, in the end, our goal is to not just leave you with a hiring system, but an advantage against your competitors. Upon this, we envision a long-term partnership that evolves continuously along with Stylebox. Now, let's take a closer look at what that looks like and how it will work in real time.
With GM Solutions, you are getting a strategically developed selection system built with the foundational knowledge obtained by an in-depth work analysis of a Stylebox stylist. In order to select the right applicant for the job, we must understand the requirements and criteria of a high-performing stylist. We will do this by conducting structured interviews with current stylists, administering a task inventory to understand the day-to-day expectations of a stylist, as well as conducting panel engagements with stylists and client subject matter experts. With the knowledge gained from a work analysis, we will capture critical knowledge areas, skills, and abilities of a high-performing stylist and use these to curate a personalized assessment tool capable of assessing an applicant's strengths and weaknesses, all virtually. Characteristics to assess include creativity, divergent thinking, agreeableness, cleverness, and uniqueness of ideas. But the development will not stop there. We will conduct an in-depth evaluation using in-depth item analysis to choose the best options for the assessment questionnaire, allowing for continued refinement throughout this process. This selection system also incorporates additional methods for assessment of applicants, guidelines for a structured online interview process, an online work sample test that gives applicants the opportunity to showcase their skills during the recruitment process, a cognitive ability assessment, and a work and history education form. We suggest a multiple hurdle approach, with more efficient points of the selection system being completed in the initial phases, like the work and education history form and the cognitive ability test. These items will also be given the least amount of weight in the cumulative scoring of each applicant. Once the most qualified applicants make it through initial phases of selection, the more labor-intensive items, like administering the work sample test and the assessment tool, will be completed and scored. These will be given more weight in the applicant's scoring, and finally, a structured interview will fully capture each applicant's true ability as a stylist at StyleBox.
Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Andrea and I am part of the great team at GM Solutions. Today I'll be discussing the technical approach of performance management. Now, to ensure that StyleBox not only hires the right stylist, but also supports their growth and consistency over time, at GM Solutions, we propose implementing a fully integrated performance management system that will be tailored to your business model and your expansion goals. Our proposed approach will be designed to meet all the 11 fundamental requirements for a successful performance management system. This means that the system will be practical, will be strategic, will be reliable, fair, and very important, it will be user-friendly. It will offer relevant and transparent performance metrics for you to connect career growth opportunities with organizational decision-making. We want to be part of your growth, so we want to make sure that you have the best information for you to make these kind of decisions. How will you decide on who gets a promotion? How do you decide what kind of training do you need? How do you decide on retention? This model will allow you to have all the information that you need to make these decisions. We plan on measuring not only behaviors but outcomes too, both directly tied to your strategic priorities. We will have objective and subjective measures. Objective key performance indicators, or KPIs, will include metrics such as client return rates, punctuality, selling percentages, and service times. Information that you probably already have, but you don't know how to use or what to do with it. Subjective measures will focus on creativity, adaptability, originality, teamwork, and service qualities, or very critical skills that a stylist should have to be able to perform effectively. Now, this structure will increase the feedback base and reduce bias by having these two incomes of information, or these inputs of information. All this information will be gathered to a multi-rater system involving self, peers, and supervisors. And we will also include clients, which we think have a very important input into this measurement. The system will be fully digital. It will be integrated to your company existing tools. If you have software, if you have any online system, we will integrate this performance management with it to make it easier to use. Now, we will use two methodologies of measurements. One is a weighted Likert scale behavioral checklist, very easy to use, and a graphic rating scale, also very easy to use, but a little more complemental, and it's better for the point of view from a supervisor. So we will use the checklist for self, peer, and client ratings, and we'll use the graphic rating scale for supervisors. All of this information will be based on observable behaviors, and this will make the results actionable. We propose evaluations every 3 months for the first year of the stylist and every 6 months after that. These results will guide your decision making on promotions, on training needs, on retention, and we want to make sure that there is a consistency over time on the rating. So we will provide extensive training on both ratees and raters. Very important, we want you to know that all the data, all the information will be securely stored, ensuring legal compliance and enabling you to have informed decision making in the future, in the long term. In addition, we will ensure that the system is inclusive across all different contexts, different cultural contexts. We know that you have locations around the world, and we want to make sure that the system is aligned to every different culture where you are located. recognizing the unique needs of your diverse workforce. Now, we will provide continuous support and training over time and during the development and implementation of the system. So you don't have to worry about this. And I want you to know that we are here to help you grow. We want to support not only your operational success, but also the employee development and retention. We really want to work with you, and please allow us to walk into your home, into your company, and help you accomplish those goals that your company has.
Our project with StyleBox will be carried out over a 32-week period to ensure that the new selection system is implemented smoothly while supporting StyleBox's rapid expansion goals. In Phase 1, weeks 1 to 10, we will begin with a detailed job analysis to identify the critical knowledge, skills, and abilities for stylists. Using interviews, surveys, and document reviews, we will define performance expectations and design custom selection tools, including both online and in-person components to ensure accuracy and candidate engagement. In Phase 2, weeks 11 to 20, we will validate these tools through pilot testing, ensuring that they are reliable, fair, and align with StyleBox's strategic goals. This phase also includes training interviewers and raters to apply consistent evaluation standards, blending objective assessments such as skills tests with subjective measures like structured interviews. Finally, during Phase 3, weeks 21 to 32, we will fully implement the selection system across all US and Germany locations. We will monitor hiring outcomes, gather feedback from managers and candidates, and make any refinements needed to ensure that the system is sustainable and scalable for future growth. At GM Solutions, we are committed to providing StyleBox with more than just a hiring process. We're delivering a long-term scalable solution. By blending objective metrics like sales, appointment volume, and client retention with subjective ratings from supervisors, peers, and clients, our approach ensures both the what and the how of performance are measured fairly and accurately. Our goal is to help you hire the right talent, retain them, and keep them performing at their best so that StyleBox's expansion is not only successful, but also sustainable.